instructions. If you are required to evacuate the building, an announcement will be made in both English and Arabic. In the event of an emergency evacuation, please move swiftly to the nearest emergency exit. Some venues, such as the theatre and auditoria, have illuminated escape path lighting to guide you to the nearest emergency exits. Please follow the instructions given by the fully trained QNCC staff and move quickly to the nearest emergency exit, following the signs until you are outside the building. Once outside, you will be directed to the nearest assembly point where you will receive further instructions. If you discover a fire, please raise the alarm using a manual call point. This will immediately activate the emergency evacuation sequence. All alarms will be responded to by the QNCC team. If you require first aid assistance, please approach a member of the QNCC team. QNCC is a non-smoking venue, and smoking is not permitted at any time in any part of the venue. Should you wish to smoke, please use the designated smoking areas which are located outside the building. Thank you for watching. On behalf of all of us at Qatar National Convention Centre, we hope you enjoy a safe and memorable visit.
Please be seated. Howdy, and good evening. Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honored guests, esteemed colleagues, students, graduates, families, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for Texas A&M University at Qatar, class of 2020 and class of 2021. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Dr. Hassan Bazzi. I'm the Senior Associate Dean for Research and Advancement at Texas A&M University at Qatar. Please note that the Ministry of Public Health guidelines require all in attendance tonight keep their face masks at all the times. We are honored to have all of you here tonight to see these remarkable young people receive their university degrees. The graduates we see before us tonight are a shining example of the best and the brightest Qatar has to offer. Graduates, whatever paths you choose and whatever challenges you face, remember your years at Texas A&M and the lessons you learned. Now, please stand for the national anthems of the State of Qatar and the United States of America. Please be seated. We are honored to have with us many distinguished guests whom I would like to recognize at this time. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Distinguished guests and colleagues representing Qatar Foundation, Hamad bin Khalifa University, Education City, and Qatar University. Honored and long-standing collaborators from Qatar's industry, and especially the families here tonight who are full of pride of their graduates. It's through the sacrifices and support of these families that we can celebrate tonight. You deserve a round of applause for all that you have done. Please also join me in recognizing members of our esteemed stage party. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saleh Sada, Chairman of our Joint Advisory Board and former Minister of Energy and Industry for the State of Qatar. Dr. Mohammed Al Mullah, Managing Director and CEO of Qatar Petrochemical Company and Chair of the TAMUQ Dean's Development Council. And our commencement speaker, Mr. Francisco Marmolejo, Qatar Foundation's President of Higher Education. Representing Texas A&M University today, Dr. Ann Kanimer, Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies. Representing the College of Engineering at Texas A&M University, Dr. N.K. Annan, Executive Associate Dean. Members of the Texas A&M Qatar Administrative Leadership, please stand. And representing our students is Abdul Karim Muhammad, class of 2020. Also joining us are faculty who have instructed, advised, and counseled tonight's graduates during their years at Texas A&M at Qatar. Will members of the faculty please stand? Our faculty are the foundation of our success at Texas A&M at Qatar. Without their tireless efforts in teaching and research, we couldn't produce engineering leaders to contribute to Qatar's development and prosperity. Please join me in a round of applause for the stage party and faculty. I'm happy to welcome to stage now our Dean, Dr. Cesar Malave, to the podium for comments. Dr. Malave.
That's okay. Thank you, Hassan. Howdy. Great. Thank you for being here tonight. Congratulations to the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. I know that you have waited a long time for this moment. Through our partnership with the Qatar Foundation, Texas A&M at Qatar is educating world-class engineers to meet the growing demand for technical expertise, human capital, in a workforce that is diversifying as rapidly as it is expanding. Our mission in engineering education is grounded in the Aggie core values: respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. Graduates, I urge you to uphold these core values on your journey through life. Your technical education and leadership skills will carry you far, and your ethics and your dedication to serving the greater good will bring meaning and satisfaction to your life's work. Many of you have already embarked on exciting careers as part of Qatar technical workforce, while others of you are working towards graduate degrees in some of the world's most prestigious universities. We look to you for inspiration and motivation. Your success is our success, and we wish the best in the next phase of your life. Meanwhile, Texas A&M at Qatar continues its important work in educating engineer leaders for Qatar's knowledge economy. You, as our graduates, are the best evidence of the value and impact that Texas A&M brings to Qatar and the region. We are counting on you to be the engineer leaders that Qatar needs. To our students, former students, parents, faculty, staff, Qatar Foundation, and industry and community stakeholders, thank you for being part of this incredible enterprise. Congratulations again to our graduates. You are truly engineer leaders in Qatar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Malavi. Dr. M. Catherine Banks, the 26th president of Texas A&M University, cannot be with us tonight, but she sends her greetings from our main campus in College Station.
Howdy. This is a special day for our Qatar campus. To the classes of 2020 and 2021, congratulations to each of you. We're very proud of your achievements and your success. As the world recovers from the pandemic, innovative and imaginative solutions for the future are needed. Engineers will be at the forefront, leading the new generation of discovery. And now 216 more Aggie engineers will join the ranks of problem solvers for the greater good. Texas A&M is a worldwide leader in educating engineers whose work advances the quality of life for humankind. I have no doubt that you will honor this legacy. You've completed the requirements for your degree, but remember that learning is a lifelong process. I encourage you to take advantage of opportunities to grow and expand your knowledge and to share it with others. Today, you join an elite worldwide network of more than 500,000 Aggies. More than 1,200 of those Aggies received their degree at Texas A&M University at Qatar. You are our ambassadors and representatives around the world, and I hope you wear your Aggie ring with pride. I encourage you to remain connected with Texas A&M in the years ahead. The success of the Global Aggie Network relies on your active participation and enthusiasm. Congratulations again on this incredible achievement. You're not just engineers, you're Aggie engineers, and we're counting on you to do great things. Thank you, good luck, and gig 'em.
We are honored tonight to have with us Mr. Francisco Marmolejo, Higher Education President at Qatar Foundation. A world-renowned expert in education, Mr. Marmolejo leads QF's support and coordination activities in Education City. He previously worked at the World Bank, where he served as the Global Higher Education Coordinator, based in Washington, D.C., and more recently as Lead Higher Education Specialist for India and South Asia, based in New Delhi. From 1995 to 2012, he was the Assistant Vice President at the University of Arizona, where he also served as Founding Executive Director of the Consortium for North American Higher Education Collaboration, a network of more than 160 universities, mainly from Canada, USA, and Mexico. He was an American Council on Education Fellow at the University of Massachusetts, Academic Vice President at the University of the Americas in Mexico, and International Consultant at the OECD in Paris. He has received honorary doctorate degrees from his alma mater, the University of San Luis Potosi, the University of Guadalajara, and the University of Nuevo León in Mexico. Mr. Marmolejo, we are so pleased to welcome you to Texas A&M commencement ceremony in Qatar. Please.
I need this so I can see you. First of all, let me express apologies for my language of communication. Being originally from Mexico, and after living for many years outside of my country, my preferred language of communication has become not Spanish, not English, but Spanglish. So that being said, let me express how great of an honor is to be able to participate in today's very special event convened by Texas A&M University in Qatar, in which proper recognition is made to its graduating class and also to the families of the graduates. I became familiar with the Aggies, with Texas A&M University since my year as a university student in my own country, in Mexico, a long time ago. At that time, as agriculture, economics, and business student, we knew that College Station, that Texas A&M has one of the best agriculture programs in the world. Engineering is not the exception at all, and in fact, it has achieved a global lead standard, very notably in connection with the partnership that Texas A&M University has in place in Qatar for almost 2 decades. 40 years later, and being today more than 14,000 kilometers away from Mexico, it is great to see a thriving university, preparing students not only with the best quality of engineering education in the world, but also with the values as positive change agents in the community and conducting timely and relevant research for the future development of Qatar and the region. This is the university that you are graduating from, and which I'm sure that you are and will be all your life proud of being your graduates of this institution. Something that I have learned after working and learning about higher education in more than 80 countries is that at the end of the day, no matter where we are, the essential formula, ambitions since the creation of the first universities in the world, keeps being the same. By the way, I don't know if you knew it, but the oldest existing university in the world is the Al Qawaidin University in Fez, Morocco, which was founded 1,162 years ago by Fatma al-Fihri. The idea of the university, Universitas Magistrorum Scholarium, essentially remains valid and vibrant today, more than 1,000 years after. A community of teachers and scholars able to inquire about the society in which they are located, but truly committed to serve and to change that community for the better. I am sure that was the idea of Her Highness Sheikh Hamosa bin Nasser 25 years ago when she embarked on the most ambitious educational project of our times at a global scale by establishing Education City, in which Texas A&M University is a great member of. As you may know, this is the largest and more concentrated complex of global universities in the world, which is right here in Qatar, in Doha, where you are part of this. There is no question that the world has changed and will continue changing, even more rapidly in the near future. When most of you were born, at the same time, Nintendo 64 was being launched. DVD discs were the most revolutionary invention. The IBM supercomputer Deep Blue have just defeated world champion Garry Kasparov in chess, and the Java programming language was being launched. Too much has happened in your lifetime. Just think about the fact that in our times, new countries that didn't exist are on the world map today. Some of the countries have disappeared as well. Also, we live in a world which is increasingly interdependent and interconnected. When I was a kid, my connection to the world was an old radio operated by batteries that my dad turned at 7 p.m. in order to listen to the news. Otherwise, we will have to wait 2 days to read the newspapers. Today, communications are happening instantly. The entire computer power that existed in the world in 1961 when I was born is equivalent to the one being used today in a regular electronic watch. As now, all higher education students globally are native digital. Your teachers were migrant digital. And by the year 2050, all the data and information available in the world today will be equivalent to less than 1% of the information that students will have available in higher education on a regular day. Quite a significant change. Of course, huge challenges remain. It is sad that inequality in the world persists, and you will have to work to deal with it. Think about the fact that even though fewer people live in extreme poverty in the world, still there are 1.2 billion people which are living with less than $1 per day, 3 riyals per day. 3 days of average income in Norway are equivalent to 1 year of average income in Malawi. In higher education, More than ever, a greater number of people like you and us are benefiting from higher education. Today, there are more than 200 million students in higher education in the world, and numbers will continue to rise in future years. However, still higher education is a privilege of a few, and all of us are privileged for that. Some countries have had spectacular results. It is the case of Qatar. In other countries, the gap between those with higher education and those who don't have that privilege, it is still acute. And I tell you that because all of us who benefited from education have a significant responsibility toward those who had the same right as us, but who didn't have the opportunity that we had. And this brings me back to Texas A&M University in Qatar. Its very important role in enabling the higher education dream to all of you and to all of us in the community, and the great accomplishments that you and your families should be very proud about by finishing successfully your higher education studies. But also, more than that, by becoming problem solvers, creative thinkers, effective communicators, and engaged, service-driven leaders in the workforce, in the community, and beyond. It is commendable because that is what Qatar and the world need. That is what our community needs. I am fully sure that you are ready to become the integral professionals and citizens that the future of Qatar will demand, and that Texas A&M University and all universities in Qatar Foundation's Education City have worked for, and I am very confident that in addition to the strong technical foundations that you have as engineers in the best engineering university in the world, you already have, in addition to that, advanced capacities in teamwork, multicultural awareness, a strong sense of tolerance, flexible systemic approach to problems, capacity to speak at least a second language, globally minded but locally responsible sense, and more important, that you have clear that you will have to keep learning for the rest of your life and that you will have to continue serving for the rest of your life. And this is something that you have achieved thanks to your dedicated effort, the guidance of your teachers, the collegiality of your classmates, the support of your loved ones, especially your parents, and the firm belief at Qatar Foundation that you already have unlocked your human potential, that you already have unlocked the best of you. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Mamolejo. Now, may I ask Dr. Yanis Economou, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Graduate Studies at Texas A&M at Qatar, please come forward.
Thank you, Dr. Bazzi. Howdy. It is my privilege to ask all recipients of master's and bachelor's degree to rise. On behalf of Texas A&M University at Qatar, I certify that these graduates have fulfilled all the academic requirements for the Master of Engineering, Master of Science, and Bachelor of Science degrees. Dean Van Lave, I am honored to present them to you for recognition and their respective degrees. May I ask you to approach the podium?
Thank you, Yanis. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of this university and by the authority vested in me by the Texas A&M system and the state of Texas, I hereby recognize you individually with the degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibility pertaining thereto. Please be seated. I invite Dr. Bassett. Yes. I invite Dr. Bassett to come forward to announce the names of the graduates.
May I invite Dean Malave to please take your spot here, Cesar. Your Excellency, Dr. Al-Sada, Dr. Ann Kennemer, Dr. Anand, and Dr. Economo to come forward to your spots on the other side of the podium, please. Will Dr. Patrick Linke, Chair of the Chemical Engineering Program, please come forward?
For the Master of Engineering and Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, please stand and come forward.
Dr. Linke, please join the group on the other side of the podium. Thank you. أمنية محمد الحسن محمد عثمان عبد الله. بسام خليل. نصيبة عبد المجيد الطيب محمد. Class of 2021 now. كلثم مبارك محمود آل منيف الكعبي. نفيرة فاطمة. وفاء عمران. أمارة رحمن. نور حسن محمد أمين رياض. May I invite Dr. Linke to come forward again?
Thank you. Will the graduates for the Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering please stand and come forward?
Class of 2020. Dima Bashir Yusuf Abul Hawa. يسرى طارق الشيخ أحمد. بسنت محمد أبو زيد علي. ملاك بنت الصادق الهلالي. طه أسامة كعبار. لايا رستزادي. مدحت جافيد زيدي. Class of 2021. عايشة شكيل أحمد محمد عباسي. أسماء محمد أبو صرافة. فاطمة عادل عبد الله عبد اللطيف العبد الغني. بندر ناصر إبراهيم حسين العبد الله. أحمد إبراهيم عبد الله محمد الأحمد. حنان يوسف علي حسن الأنصاري. أمينة فهد عبد الله درويش الدرويش. لولوى غانم خميس غانم الكبيسي. موزة راشد عبد الله آل الشيخ الكواري. جاسم راشد سعد حسن المطوي. سعد عيسى سعد الحسن المهندي. شوق خالد عبد الرحمن سعيد النعيمي. جواهر خليل حسن سلطان الشيبة. آمنة مهنا علي راشد السليطي. نورهان ثائر سمير عيسى. Thank you, Dr. Linky. Will Dr. Erkin Serperdeen, Chair of the Electrical and Computer Engineering Program, please come forward?
Will the graduates of the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering please stand and come forward?
Ruby, pass one. دانا إبراهيم محمد الهنيدي. محمد أبو عرقوب. أحمد عبد الله محمد إبراهيم العلي. جواهر ناصر عبد الرحمن عبد الله العمادي. مريم علي عبد الرحمن رفيع العمادي. نور أحمد محمد عوض العمادي. سارة فرج بوعشوان جمعة الحمد. محمد يوسف الحر. فاطمة علي محمد صالح الجناحي. نوف عبد العزيز عبد الحميد محمد السيد. موزة علي داوود نصيب الشكري. لطيفة شاهين ثامر خليفة السباعي. رقية عبد الهادي هاشم السيد عبد الله اليوسف. نجود جاسم محسن محمد بوكشيشة. يوسف نزيه دياب. دانا عصام فراج السعافين. اسكندر بن الصادق الهلالي. أميرة عبد الله جامع. نجلة خالد محمد سلطان لرم. مي محمد عبد السميع العزب محمود. Class of 2021. بدور منصور محمد بوشسوم البدر. حصة عبد العزيز أحمد درويش الدرويش. منيرة راشد ظافر حمد الدسري. علي حسين جاسم عيسى الحداد. الريم مبارك حنيف مبارك الهاجري. نجود علي إبراهيم عبد الله الحمادي. أسمهان محمد جاسم أحمد الكواري. هيفاء غيث محمد آل مطر الكواري. علي أحمد علي محمد الملك. عائشة عيسى غانم عبد الله المرزوقي. سعد عبد العزيز أحمد الحسن المهندي. سارة عبد الله محمود عبد المجيد الملا. عائشة إبراهيم محمد السعيد العبيدلي. ماجد عارف جوهر مبارك آل سعد. شروق بدر أحمد حسن الصديقي. نورة مبارك راشد الحي السليطي. جود العودة. دانا حسن جاسم عبد الرحمن بدار. علي الأسدي. جواهر محمد علي عبد الله محمد علي كلداري. Thank you, Dr. Serperdine. Will Dr. Marwan Khreishi, Chair of the Mechanical Engineering Program, please come forward?
Will the graduates for the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering please stand and come forward?
Class of 2020. Faisal Abdelaziz Jarallah Zayed Al-Habbabi. Ahmad Al-Nawfal Tamimi. مبارك صالح عبد الله محمد السويدي. بدر خليفة السادة. فجر علي عبد الله أحمد أشكناني. I need to invite Dr. Ahmad Hasna, the president of Hamad bin Khalifa University, to please join Dean Malave. Omar Ahmad Mjahid Omar Abeid Hasna. جويل عبدو كاتبي. عبد الله محمد يوسف. فاطمة علي إبراهيم حسين العبد الله. عبد الله خالد ثامر سالم الحميدي. محمد صالح عبد الله محمد الكواري. حصة محمد منصور أحمد الخاطر. فاطمة جعفر عبد الله بن عباس الخزاعي. غيث قلايد. راشد محمد راشد بن هميلة المزروعي. رغد غانم سلمان المهنا السليطي. عبد الله محمد التميمي. دانا خالد عبد الله شايف اليافعي. مروان شريف السيد محمد بدر الدين. غسان أحمد الجشي. المعتز بالله محسن الإدريسي. ريم حسن محمد أحمد الهادي. Come back here. عائشة حسين. Thank you, Dr. Khreishi. Will Dr. Alberto Sretnanto, Chair of the Petroleum Engineering Program, please come forward?
Thank you, Dr. Bassi. Will the graduate for the Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering please stand and come forward?
Class of 2020, Aldana Mansour Mbarak Qatami Naimi. Abdullah Ali Saleh Khamis Al-Sulaiti. Fahad Salman Idris Salman Al-Sulaiti. عبد الكريم أحمد حسن محمد. Class of 2021, منال عبد الرزاق أحمد محمد المير. ديما إبراهيم عبد الله سعيد القبيسي. منيرة عبد المجيد الرياحي. راشد عبد الوهاب أبو بكر عبد الفتاح المصلح. في محمد أحمد جمعة الصليتي. Please join me in another round of applause for our graduates. Please take back your seats. Be Malavi. At this time, I have the honor of introducing Abdul Karim Muhammad, class of 2020, who's our student speaker this evening. Abdul Karim.
Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Abdul Karim Agha, and I am truly honored to be talking to you tonight. I want to congratulate all the graduates with me and say I'm extremely proud of every single one of you here, and I'm sure your loved ones are too. I would like to start off with my journey here at Texas A&M. During my senior year in high school, war broke out. Remove the mask? There's no safety protocol here. I would like to start off with my journey here at Texas A&M. During my senior year in high school, war broke out in Yemen, and I was forced to leave and pursue my bachelor's degree outside while leaving my family behind. It was a struggle at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm sure for you guys as well, it was a huge transition from school to university. I remember my first exam here at Texas A&M, and I'm sure you guys remember it too, because everybody had to take this exam. It didn't matter what school you were from, and I'm talking about the Shwayfatis here that think that they shouldn't take this exam. See, there's a lot of them. It was the math placement exam before university started. And this brings back memories as it was my first failure at this university. I remember I failed miserably, and I even remember the incident where people got their grades and it was out of 30. And I remember students talking and comparing grades, people saying they got 28, 29, 27. And and I'm just sitting in the back with single digits. I got a 9 out of 30. So I went back to my room in dorms, and I was thinking, what the heck am I doing here? You know, when you sit and start thinking about all of your life decisions, and if you made the right one. That's how it felt, and I'm sure some of you did too when you joined university here. To be honest, that was a turning point for me. I did have doubts whether I should stay or leave this place, as if it was too good for me, or maybe I didn't belong here. With time, I started meeting people in campus and making friends, and eventually getting back on track with my courses. You guys helped me through my first year, and I was able to finish that freshman year with only 1 B, and the rest were A's, not C's. Looking at it now, I thought about my first day in campus and how far we've come during these years, but I can't take the credit. We've always been there for each other. One person can have tons of work, but they will still take 5 minutes off their time to try to help each other, and that's why Texas was great. We really were able to always count on each other. These past years have not been easy, but we have learned and prospered so much. I genuinely couldn't have been more blessed to have such a batch to graduate with and a batch to come after me. The class of 2021 have all been through the same journey with us. I remember being the orientation leader, and look at them now. We have the likes of Zaina at MIT, Hurrigs, and Boston University, and we even have a professional player with us, football player, playing, and right now he's with us, graduating. I even remember this batch being always mature ever since they joined university. We went to Greece for a football tournament, and we were already upperclassmen, but there was one freshman with us named Mu'taz, making sure we're waking up to every match on time, not missing the bus, and so on. And we're like, this freshman, you need to loosen up. But they were always mature from day one, and I'm really proud that they're graduating tonight. These trips with the university grew bonds between us, and we'll never forget these. Yes, we engineers struggle and sometimes have to admit hate our lives while we're studying all the time. But ultimately, we managed somehow to graduate together. I want to thank every single person I have met or talked to during my time at university, whether you are one of my close friends or just a person I gave a tour for. I gave many of those for admissions. The departments, the students, the staff are all a family to me, especially after working and waking up to each other's faces for a while. Finally, I want to take this moment to congratulate again all the graduates, and we can finally say we are done, some in 4, some 5, 6, maybe 7 years, and I hope nobody breaks the record and goes for 8 years in this university, and I wish you all the best wherever the road takes you, whether it's higher studies, working in the industry, or just relaxing at home for now. Thank you, class of 2020 and 2021, for all the memories, and have a blessed night. يعطيكم العافية.
Thank you, Abdul Karim. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the singing of the Spirit of Aggieland? The words are on the inside back cover of your program. Please be seated. Thank you. Honored guests, thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. I realize, graduates and families, that you are excited to celebrate, but we need just a moment more of your time. As the recessional plays and the stage party exits the auditorium, I ask families to remain seated during this time. Graduates will exit in the recessional after the stage party and faculty. Families and friends may exit after all graduates have left the theater. Please note that there will be no group photo after the graduates leave the theater and that the stage will be closed following the recessional. We have to be very strict following the MOPH guidelines. Once again, congratulations to each of you. Thank you so much. Good night. Assalamu alaikum.